Talk just about how cold it is out there, Chita.
I know, layers and layers, you're right. And that's all part of this extreme cold warning. You know, it expires today at noon, so this is the last bit of it. Finally, thankfully. I'm still expecting below freezing temperatures tomorrow. It's just not going to be at this hard freeze. And it is. Take a look, 19 right now, current temperature in Conroe, 18 this morning in Brenham, 22 in Sugar Land, 21 in Brenham. Across the board, we have mid to low 20s, so it is a very cold start to the morning. We are going to see temperatures with the feels like temperatures about the same this morning, and the reason, the winds have backed off. That's going to play a big difference. You know, this morning we're waking up to feels like temperatures almost matching the current temperature, and that's all because of the wind. Check out your hourly planner. You need to kind of warm the eyeballs up this morning. By lunchtime today, 42. By the afternoon, 48. Now this is the thing, even though we have a lot of sunshine for the first portion of the day, clouds will build in by the afternoon. That is going to basically trap our temperatures where they're at, and by tomorrow morning, even though it's not going to be as cold, it will still be chilly, especially to our standards, okay? Live look outside across the board. We are starting off again with mainly clear skies. Decent start to the day. It looks nice, but just really, really cold. Everyone is waking up to that hard freeze status. The only difference today compared to yesterday, it's the wind. Wind really backed off, and you know, Jen, that can really make a big difference. But bottom line, it is cold.
It's bitterly cold. I was like, I'm glad I only have to go about 10 feet because I could not make it out there. No way. All right, good morning. You know, it's going to be back to business this morning. I and my coworkers saw the regular amount of traffic heading into work, so just know that you are to anticipate that. Let's talk about the one icy spot still on Houston Transtar's radar. It's 45 the Gulf at 146 northbound direction, possibly in one lane. That's the only icy spot that's been reported in the overnight hours. So take care if you are in Galveston County. Looking at downtown, 69 at 288, you know, it's just way too hot with all of those vehicles going over all of the lanes. Please don't worry about any ice right here in town. That is not our concern. Just your regular drive times. Looking at I-10 the Katy, those bridges and ramps up to 99 are open and available whether you are a truck or a vehicle. Also this morning, looking at the drive times, picture perfect, at least for the start of things. 20 minutes in from Cypress. If you're waking up in Sugar Land, 23 minutes up 69. We'll check it again for you throughout the morning. Over to you.
All right, Jen, thank you. We're depending on our weather. The great thing, Chita, is that it's not thawing anytime soon.
No, I know. It's just as cold there. I mean, that's pretty impressive, though, even for a chef. You want to think like, okay, maybe he's good with his like knife skills, but that's very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, big picture. No, it is definitely cold enough to keep that ice sculpture. That is for sure. This morning, you are waking up to another hard freeze, back-to-back hard freeze. So temperatures this morning down to 21 in Tomball, 23 in Sugar Land. Check out Conroe, teens, 19 in Conroe, 18 this morning in Brenham. So it is a cold start to the day. Now our feels like temperatures, I just transitioned from the current temperatures to the feels like. You probably didn't even notice the change. Temperatures this morning are feeling exactly what our temperatures are showing, and that's all thanks to the wind really backing off. We do have this extreme cold warning, and just like we saw in Fort Worth, check it out, under that extreme cold warning as well, from Dallas into portions of central Texas. This extends the entire state of Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. So look at that, millions of people just like us waking up under an extreme cold warning. The worst of the cold is happening right now. In fact, starting after 7 a.m., we'll continue to warm things up. So this warning is active until lunchtime today, and then finally, thankfully, we can say so long. Dangerous temperatures in the 20s, and then those wind chills, maybe plus or minus a degree there, but it's overall about the same. As far as your hour-by-hour planner, you know, we really round the corner to above freezing temperatures around 10 o'clock this morning, I think is your kind of magic timeline. And then we'll get into the 40s. By this afternoon, picking up the kids from school today, you're in the upper 40s. So notice between 2 to 4 o'clock, we're actually reaching a high temperature of 48. All right, that is where our low temperatures should be. So we're still really cold, but thankfully not like what we're seeing here this morning. Let me show you what I'm expecting overnight. So typically I'd say, okay, we're nearing the freezing point, and that would be cold for our standards, not in comparison of what we've been dealing with. We're down to 33 overnight in Bel Air. Notice the Heights at 33 overnight, Gulf Crest at 33. So I do think some clouds will be building in for the afternoon and evening hours, but that's actually after a clear start this morning. Spring Branch down to 32, Meyerland at 33, Pasadena 33 overnight, and then that big picture here right at or just below the freezing point, pretty much area wide. So temperatures will be cold again for tomorrow, but not as cold as what we're waking up to. Check this out. The cold, it's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm going to show you our long range pattern. We have 2 more cold snaps even behind this one. The next one arrives this upcoming weekend, so Saturday morning and Sunday morning. The difference is we don't have any moisture to work with, so we're not even talking about that chance. But it's also a big part of this is going to hang into the north and east. We are barely going to get clipped compared to the northeast part of the country. And then the third snap is going to be midweek next week. But again, for the next 10 days, this cold is a little bit of an up and down roller coaster. It's not really going anywhere. You're waking up to a hard freeze this morning. That's why that weather impact alert has been issued for the morning hours. And then by the afternoon, upper 40s under mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, right at the freezing point, but not at that hard freeze. At least 60s return, Jen, until our next cold snap. Do you see how Saturday morning and Sunday morning we're back down to that hard freeze? So I'd say maybe take everything off your plants, let them get some sunshine, let them take a little break, but then you want to cover them right back up for Saturday morning. So you'll need to do that by Friday afternoon again.
We are going to get plenty of practice.
Yeah.
Recovering the plants by Friday, you say, Chita. Thank you. All right, this Tuesday morning, this is what it looks like at I-45 up in the Dallas area. Picture taken right after 5 a.m. So anybody trying to possibly drive up for a meeting today, you might want to give it some time because roads are still icy. This is Centerville, about an hour and 45 minutes north of our area, and you can still see that ice can be seen here on the shoulder. So those are your driving conditions regionally. Right here in Houston, Metro has resumed all services as things have really gotten back to normal. Everybody's driving along the highways with no problems, so no fear. The one icy spot that's been reported is on the Gulf Freeway northbound from the Causeway to 146. I did see some flashing lights out on our Houston TransStar camera, and you can see some brake lights that are happening right here. So just know that this is the only area of concern, the only icy spot listed on Houston TransStar's website, and some delays that I'm currently seeing. So folks obviously easing up on the brake lights and definitely slowing their speeds. Downtown Houston is still in very good shape. All other bridges and ramps have been free and clear of any ice. As a matter of fact, did want to take a second to thank Texas Department of Transportation. Around the clock, they were like 13-hour shifts, and they were really brining and pre-treating a lot of the roads to make sure that anybody who did have to get around yesterday got around in a safe manner. We had very, very few incidents to report. So good news for emergency crews and good news for you and your family. 20 minutes in from Kingwood, I'll be monitoring the drive times all morning long for you. Over to you.
Jen, thank you.